I think that we can start putting some stuff together now. I'm going to have some more white on hand and some more black on hand. First, what can we do with this? First, I'm going to cut it in half. You know me. I'm going to first get rid of the slightly messed up ends. Just slightly messed up ends. So I can have a perfect gradient in there. And then I'm going to cut it in half. One of the halves I will teardrop, but I will teardrop it unevenly. So I first pinched these ends, and now I'm going to bring one of the ends towards the middle. And you need to be careful because you'll have a little bit of and then bring this one over. And it will make a seed-like shape, or Pac-Man if you want. And then the other one I'm going to spiral, and for that, you've seen me doing this before, I'm going to extend one of the ends with a lot of care because it will have the tendency to widen up. So you need to interfere here and pull if you need to. Do not allow it to widen up too much. And go very, very thin with it. And then we will start spiraling it. And this you might have to widen a little bit as well. And there I got a beautiful spiral. Now let's start putting stuff together. And before I have to do something about this one. First of all, I'm going to run it through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. And then get rid of the corners. Of the edges, not the corners. Then all my elements are here. I have this, I have this, I have this, and my butterfly antennas, some white, and we are ready to rock and roll. First, let me actually get this prepared for something as well. I'm going to cut this like this once, and then I'm going to cut this like this a second time. I have one wedge and I have a second wedge that are pretty much identical, only that one has the point light and the other one has the point dark. So what do I want to wrap this in? First of all, I'm not going to keep this as it is. I am going to triangularize it, and I'm going to triangularize it with a small Pac-Man mouth on one side of the top of the triangle. So I simply pinched on one end, flattened against the tile, and then pinch where I flattened. Again, very careful, because you'll have stuff that's going to stay behind and you don't want to allow that to happen. So got this a little, I need this side to be a little bit wider. And I'm going to place this here. So I have one element. And you see, I have the darker side that's going to be here against the white, so I have very well outlined color differences. Then I'm going to want to place some of this line, and I'm going to get the height, and I'm going to do a lot of game of spirals here. So I'm flattening this end again and spiraling it. And as you can see, it's coming down here. Now I got this way taller than these other ones. So this needs reduced a little bit to get it taller. And I'm going to add some white. And why? Because I want to have, but I actually want a line before everything else. So I'm going to place another line here. Like this. So this would be my measurement. You stay there. Now I can place a line of white. It looks super, doesn't it? I'm placing my butterfly antenna that needs a little bit more extended. And I actually want to get it fairly rounded up, so I'm going to extend it this way as well. And let's grab this other one, and of course I'm going to have to reduce it some because it's shorter. And I got a Seamus coming to wine. And let's give it another, I already have one here. Let's give it another line here. This is still not tall enough. And there we go. So let's give it another line here. Always with the dark side. Come to the dark side. We got cookies. And we have fun. Crazy. Okay, so I need a little bit more elements because I'm going to want to pretty much go like this with this cane. So first I want this to be longer, taller, because it's too short. And see, I need an element here, so I'm going to bring an element here. It needs elongated a little bit, because I don't want that yellow to be opened like that. I want it to have a little bit of closure in here. And then which of them would be the best? It doesn't really matter. If I grab this and I put it here, I can have another element here with a spiral that will complement each other. And what I'm going to do here, actually, I'm going to add even more white to this spiral, but just this half of square of white. To get it like this. I do have a little bit of difference in levels, but that's fine because I can easily get those equalized. But I need something in here, so I made another thing, and this is with the mix that I use here and white. It's simply a simple Skinner blend. So I'm going to place a piece of it here. Then I'm going to place a piece of it, more of a triangle pretty much. Just going to fold it. Kind of like this, and then create a triangle out of this, which of course has to go this way. So I'm completely remodeling this. Sorry, it has to go this way. Hey. It's very soft right now. And then I'm going to place another one. Let's do it in a little bit of a roll to get another place here. And this I'm going to triangularize. I'm going to do it like this. Now I'm going to get rid of the deformed ends. And remember I showed you what to do with all these. Let me get back on. I showed you what to do with all these end cane remnants, that bubbles and lines cane, that I hope we'll be able to do something soon with. Okay, just check if you have any empty spaces. Now I'm going to cut this in half. So I need it to be a little bit longer to get a good half measurement. And the other thing is that I want it to be with a right angle here. So the way to do this, the best way is to place an acrylic block and then bring the cane over towards the acrylic block until you get yourself a right angle triangle. You can even use 2 acrylic blocks, one like this, but now I got a right angle triangle that I'm going to cut in half. So it's going to be, because I have 2.5 inches, it's going to be 1.25 inch. And I'll put one aside, and I'm going to continue reducing this one, and I'm going to shut up and speed up. Now that I got it pretty much where I wanted, I'm first getting rid of the deformed ends. And then I'm going to cut it in half. Sorry, I don't have a very good depth perception right now, because I can see well with one eye and not with the other. And I'm going to put it together. To form a triangle. That's going to need a little bit of, first of all, well aligned here, and it's going to need a little bit of reducing. Always be careful, because you'll have, whenever you put stuff together, you'll have it wanting to push out. But I'm gonna let this aside for the moment and go ahead and reduce this other one. But on this other one, I'm going to switch the right angle from here to here. While I'm reducing. So again, I'm going to shut up so I can speed this up. peachy. The next thing we are going to do, remember that I kept this, and this is going to be for part of this, but I'll show you here in a minute how. First, I'm going to really fast reduce this one as well. So this one I'm going to combine it into a square directly, and then I'm going to make practically a 4 radial directly. Instead of going triangular, I'm going to go square. And that means that, because right now it's a bi-radial. If you didn't watch my Complex Canes 101, I'm going to link it in the video description below. But until that happens, let's just simply reduce this. So I'm going to shut up and keep reducing. I think at this point I'm going to get my square pairs and do that. Now I will be cutting this in 4. And then I'm going to put the 4th together. Make sure that the front and the back are together properly. There we go. Now what I need to do is to make sure that this, I know it's not a lot of cane, but you will see why there is not a lot of cane, because I have I need a little bit of each of them for the project that I have in mind, and that is a bangle. But I will show you, that's why I call this a metamorphosis cane, because I want to show you what needs to be done with it. Okay, so I have 1 inch. This one is a little bit smaller than 1 inch, and I will want to make it even smaller than this. So, and I will show you here in a minute why. But what I need first to do is to reduce this one. And this one needs to be reduced as it is. See, it's kind of like a equilateral triangle, and it needs to be reduced until the side is 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce it. Probably shut up so I can speed this up. I'm sorry, this video is kind of long, but it's a complicated thing. Okay. So I am pretty much done. As you can see, the side of the triangle is 1/2 inch. And keep in mind that I will have to cut it in 4. So in order to figure out how much I need to reduce this one, the idea is that, yeah, it's going to be 1 inch tall cane. So right now this cane is about 3/4 of an inch. So if I want 1 inch, I'm going to have to reduce about this much. Let me put this aside. I'm going to have to reduce about half of it. So let's see how it goes, if my calculations are correct. So let's see if I get this from 1/2 inch to 1 inch without a lot of wastage. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up and let you admire how I am reducing. Okay, so I have my cane at 1 inch length, 1/2 inch width, and I even have a little bit extra length so I can get rid of whatever little deformities I have on the ends. Ain't this pretty? Going to be a very super delicate, that sounds like very super delicate. Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't cut right here. Depth perception issues. All right, and then we are going to cut this in 4 equal pieces, and then a miracle will happen. Yeah, I need to close one eye. Okay, now it's a little bit longer than 1 inch. It will be fine. Or one of these triangles was not 1 inch long. I mean, I guess one of the two, either that, the middle cane is not. Yeah, one of the triangles was not long enough. Very gently bring it to a square, because I guess I didn't keep my triangles really the way they were supposed to be. And we want these two to be about 3/4 of an inch. Let me cut it. And you will see they look fabulous. I'll focus the camera in here in a second. And we want these two to be 3/4 of an inch because they are going to get wrapped. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one that I did with this one, and with this thing. And I will show you just the end because I don't want to get this tutorial to become like 2 hours. Okay. So this is it, and you can see how beautiful and delicate they are. I did a super close up. So this is one of them, the original one, with the reserved triangle added, and you can see what a beautiful effect it does. And they are super delicate. And this is the second one with the reserved, no, this is the second one with the reserved triangle added. And you shall see when all these are put together, we shall make a bangle with them, and you shall see how beautiful and delicate and super elegant it's going to be. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and look forward for the bangle made with these canes. Happy claying!